Hi, I am here today to talk about Indicator C.2.2, and it is all about building effective instruction within our classroom. It is extremely important as educators that we build lesson plans that build on students' mathematical thinking while supporting those key mathematical concepts. As a teacher, you'll dedicate a good chunk of time towards planning instruction. And as a pre-service teacher, we need to learn how to build a solid foundation of mathematics so that we can give our students the best mathematical information and activities. Therefore, it is important to students that we know that they bring things with them to class. And it is extremely vital that we as teachers provide those classroom environments where students can communicate those feelings and their thinking. And the goal is for students to make connections with math relating to the world around them. Learning how to incorporate equity into our instruction and creating formative assessments that measure what a student knows while meeting them where they're at is extremely important. This indicator is crucial when pre-service teachers become practicing teachers because it is up to that teacher to guide her classroom and what they will be learning and providing options as to how that material will be learned. Ways to make sure we are planning effective lessons as teachers include, but are not limited to, evaluating our lessons after we complete them. Watch our students and listen to what they are telling us and make the lesson interactive. Bill Sanders completed a study where he tracked student success rate on standardized tests. Sanders found when a student was paired with a high-performing teacher for 3 years straight, that student placed on average in the 96th percentile, while the student paired with the low-performing teacher placed anywhere from the 44th percentile to the 52nd percentile. Teacher Lauren Salisbury says that in order to have a classroom where things run smoothly, it is essential to have prepared lessons in advance. Our students aren't just students, they're humans, and they have things going on outside of class. Some may be dealing with something no child should ever have to deal with. It is our job as educators to provide meaningful lessons and something that will benefit them through and through. Thank you.
Thank you, Taylor. Now that we understand the idea and the importance behind Indicator 2.2, you're probably wondering, how can I effectively use these in my classroom or on my journey of becoming a teacher? I'm going to present to you today 2 different scenarios, and I want you to consider that when we're talking about them. So for the first scenario, it deals with students learning to add. How did you learn how to add? How did you learn that 1 + 1 = 2? Were you given a textbook? Were you handed a piece of paper with some math problems on it? Did you look up at the board and see a picture of a block, an addition sign, and another block and ask, how many do you have? Although the concept of 1 + 1 = 2 is present, the way that we deliver this to students is crucial. As Taylor previously discussed, it is so important that not only current teachers, but pre-service teachers take the time to understand and build a foundation on math and the skills. Critical thinking, problem solving, reasoning, they are all so important. We need to incorporate that as well as individual prior knowledge into our lesson planning. Don't ever assume that because one student can do something, another student can. Let's take this 1 + 1 = 2 example. What can we do to make a more interactive, deeper connection with the students in the math? We could take one student, add another student. How many students do we have? You are using the students as a representation of the numbers, and they are interacting hands-on to understand the concept that one student plus another student equals 2 students. Now, the next scenario is actually a personal experience. I was an assistant Georgia pre-K teacher for 2 years. Every week, me and my co-teacher would take the time to plan lesson plans that centered around a theme. Everything that we did that week would go with the theme. I can remember specifically a little boy having the hardest time when it came to the small group math. He was never engaged, never present, and when it came to the verbal assessment at the end, he never knew what to say. My co-teacher and I realized that we needed to do something to help him. So we created a lesson plan centered on the theme of dinosaurs because we knew he loved them so much. We even created a count and sort game that dealt with dinosaur eggs. Let me tell you, Not only was he engaged and present and worked with his friends, he rocked the assessment at the end. So we realized that there was a disconnect between our lesson planning and this specific boy. Taking this into consideration is so important for all your students. You need to do the best you can to incorporate your students' likes, needs, and interests, as well as considering all your students' individual prior knowledge and where they are at currently to create an effective lesson plan that will not only help you in your lesson planning and your instructions, but will also help you to become a better teacher. Thank you.